Hello again, guys, and welcome to today's episode of AI Governance Engineering with myself, Gavin. It's going to be quite a short one today, just showing you another tool that I've created, which is known as the DPIA Coordinator. And this is a simple but specialized tool that knows GDPR Article 35 requirements, EU AI Act Article 27, and ISO 27701 2025, which is the PIMS management system, and basically analyzes your AI system details, determines if the DPIA or Fundamental Rights Impact Assessment or PIMS are required based on the information that you feed into it, and then it will provide some specific recommendations for improvement. Originally, it was trying to, some of the problems that I faced was it was asking too much of the language model. So it was trying to generate a 12,000 word report, which I didn't consider at first. And then I looked back, I was like, 12,000 words, Jesus. So I've shrunk it right down. It's much smaller now, and I think it's more effective and easier to follow. So it will generate this report. It'll generate a executive summary. It'll give you some detailed or some level of detailed analysis for each framework, some recommendations. So first of all, as you can see on the screen, I've got this in JSON here because I'm going to run it from a terminal, but you could feed this information into the system in various ways. And this is just some of the attributes that it would require. So you can see in this example, the client name is FinTech Innovations. The AI system name is Smart Credit Pro. And the AI system's purpose is automated credit scoring for consumer loans. The deployer type is a financial institution, and the data subjects are loan applicants. And again, some of these specific personal data types: financial history, employment records, credit scores, and bank statements. It's instantly classed as high risk under the AI Act Annex 3. Creditworthiness. The data volume in this example is around 50,000 applications annually. There's automated decision making taking place, and in regards to human oversight, decisions over €10,000 are reviewed by loan officers. So I'm here inside the terminal, inside Cursor, and this is just where I'm going to trigger the API call to AWS. And then AWS will generate the report in an S3 bucket for me, or for you, actually. So let's just see what happens here when I run it. So we can see there it's generated, status description accepted, just some other sort of jargon there, but it's basically going to Amazon. What else? Not much to see, but now we can head over to AWS and check the output. So I'm inside my S3 buckets now, and I'm going to go to the DPIA API reports US East bucket. We've got assessments here. I know that it's sent to this particular folder here, as it's the latest one. We can see the date, December the 11th, 1921, which is roughly the current time. And there's the DPIA report.md. So we'll click into that. What else is there to see? Nothing much to see here. Let's have a look. Let's open this up, shall we? Or should we download it? We'll download it instead. Open it in Cursor. We're going to click this open. So we've downloaded the DPIA report, and it's now in Cursor with a few more nice shiny headers and subheaders. So this is a short report, guys, compared to some of the other ones that I do. But I know sometimes it's quite boring looking through these lengthy text files on YouTube. I appreciate that, but this one's not one of them. So first of all, you get the executive summary of what this pattern's sort of decided is important to know. FinTech Innovations Limited is deploying the Smart Credit Pro app system for automated credit scoring of consumer loans. We saw this already in the JSON execution, and it's a high-risk system under Annex 3. of the EU Act that processes personal financial data. Both a data protection impact assessment under GDPR Article 35 and a fundamental rights impact assessment under EU Act Article 2729A are required prior to deployment. This coordinated assessment applies Article 29A.4 to conduct the DPIA and the FRIA together efficiently. Key findings include moderate residual risks around data accuracy, bias discrimination and individual rights that must be carefully mitigated through technical controls, human oversight and robust governance processes. So are both assessments required for this particular tool? Yes. Coordination approach, Article 29A combined assessment. We start with GDPR data privacy impact assessment analysis. So personal data processing, yes, and then the types there. No special categories identified. High risk processing, yes. Automated credit scoring qualifies as evaluation or scoring with potential legal and significant effects. DPIA legal basis, GDPR Article 35 processing, likely high risk to rights and freedoms. DPIA is required. Necessity and proportionality, legitimate aim, efficient and consistent credit decisioning to facilitate lending. Necessity, AI system is necessary to achieve legitimate aim at scale and consistently. Proportionality, benefits of increased access to credit outweigh data protection risks if properly mitigated. And then data minimization under Article 5.1c. Financial history, income and credit data are adequate, relevant and limited to what is necessary for credit scoring purpose. No special categories or unnecessary personal data required. Assessment, processing is necessary and proportionate for legitimate aim with appropriate safeguards. 1.3, risks to rights and freedoms, risk to data accuracy, Article 5.1. AI scoring errors leading to incorrect credit decisions, risk of inaccurate, incomplete training data. Likelihood is medium and the severity is high. Risk of discrimination, Article 21. Unintentional bias leading to unequal treatment. Proxy variables correlated with protected characteristics. And then you've got the likelihood. Let's have a look what else. I wanted to keep this short and sweet. This is stuff, I mean, if you've looked at automated decision-making tools, this will be kind of common knowledge to you by now, but it's there in a simple tool. And especially, I don't know if you're going to be implementing AI systems and you're relatively new to this, you know, maybe this will just help support your understanding of what's actually required and leave no stone unturned if it's within the scope of your implementation strategy or plan. So again, it's just a tool. It's, you know, it's not meant to, this one's not meant to be exhaustive. It's just a tool. And for me personally, if and when I start implementing AI systems, I'll be using these to help inform my approach, my ideas. So what have we got? Data accuracy and quality, robust data validation and cleansing control. These are safeguards, by the way, and mitigations. Regular testing for model accuracy, non-discrimination and fairness, systematic bias testing and de-bias testing techniques, individual rights procedures for data subjects, security measures, encryption of personal data in transit and at rest, strict access controls and authentication, oversight and governance, establish an AI ethics committee, ongoing monitoring. Again, this is usually common sense, but for some of you it might not be if you haven't read enough of the expectations yet for AI. And again, some of these are unique to AI. So if you're coming from cybersecurity, you're going to need to understand or appreciate the ethical side of things and the fundamental rights side of things as well. So part 2, EU Act Fundamental Rights Impact Assessment. Is the risk high? Yes. And again, just going over the risk classification. Fundamental rights impact affected groups, consumers applying for loans, no vulnerable groups specifically affected based on information provided. Again, is that an oversight? Could you have provided more detail there as a business? Maybe you could have, because if it comes up later and then you've used this as evidence, you say, well, look, we've run this DPIA coordinator tool, and then the output here is saying no vulnerable groups specifically affected, but the auditor finds that there is. then this tool would be rendered useless. Important to be as detailed as possible and transparent, should I say. That's the word, actually, is to be as transparent and as detailed as possible within the scope of what this tool does and what it's needed for. Right to good administration. Oh, wait, let's go back. Right to human dignity, Article 1 Charter. Solely automated significant decisions without human review. Inability to understand context rationale. Right to good administration. Lack of transparency and accountability in our system. Risk mitigation measures. Rigorous bias testing, indeed, same as before. Residual risk level, moderate with mitigations. Now we move on to part 3. ISO 27701. Privacy controls. Key ISO 27701 controls applicable to this AI system are 6.15 compliance. Regularly review and update your privacy policies and procedures and implement data protection by design and default. Quite generic and quite broad, but again, alert you to the standard that it exists. Then you can dig into it and then start extracting some specifics out of it. And 27701 is something that I will be building a specific tool just for that, where it will provide, it will just be solely focused on 27701, not mixed in with EU AI Act or GDPR. And I'll be extracting as much out of it as possible. And hopefully like some of the control guidance, that's it. The control guidance can be bolted onto this tool as well. What else? Consent and choice. Privacy monitoring and reviews. Annex A, additional privacy control set, conduct bias testing, implement human oversight. You get the picture. Part 4, risk matrix, risk description, inaccurate credit scoring outputs, likelihood, medium, impact high, risk level high, mitigations, data validation, model testing and human review. And then it just goes over a few more generic things here. Part 5, recommendations. And again, broad, vague for now. Consider certifications at the bottom here, number 9. Consider certifications. Explore obtaining ISO 27701 certification to demonstrate privacy and data protection compliance. Leverage AI ethics certifications or labels to build trust. Implement continuous monitoring of the AI system's operation with defined metrics and conduct periodic reviews of this assessment when risk changes. So yeah, that lives in AWS, guys. It's a very simple tool today. Again, we just started with some information there. It connected to GDPR, EU AI Act, Article 27, and ISO 27701 PIMS. It's in its infancy, but it's a tool that I kind of built a few months ago now. And then since I've secured a copy of 27701, I was like, oh, maybe that can work with this. But it's basic, it's simple at the moment. It's quite broad in its responses, but it's something I'm going to expand on a bit later. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. This one's short and sweet. The weekend is fast approaching. I'm exhausted. I want to do some reading, continuing with the PEC-B 42001 lead implementer course. I've been doing a bit of reading today through the ISO 5259 series, because I've only got through like 1 or 2 of them so far, and I need to refresh. So that's been my reading for today. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate any feedback is welcome. If you want to know more about these tools that I'm building, or just generally network, then I'm open. My door's open. Drop me a message on my LinkedIn or in the inbox in YouTube. So this is Gavin. This is AI Governance Engineering. I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you again soon.